What's up, guys? Back to part 2 of this baseball motivation, getting you guys pumped up. So let's get on with it. So, due to some issues dealing with some copyright claims, I was unable to get you guys the video footage of Salvador Perez, like I was talking about. So we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna be talking to you guys based off what was seen in the videos. To summarize, basically what had happened is Salvador Perez made the last out of the World Series in 2014, and as we call it, the opportunity of a lifetime. He was up there, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, so he could have won it for the Kansas City Royals, and he made the last out. And so as a result, he went into the offseason, and who knows what went through his mind. But the following season, 2015, he was World Series MVP. So the moral lesson of the story is we can't always get down on ourselves when we feel like we missed the opportunity, because you never know when the next opportunity can come for your success. So don't ever be afraid to be in the biggest moment in sports, and that includes Game 7, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Don't be afraid to fail. Just have fun. That's honestly the best mindset that you can have. Have fun with the game of baseball. Don't let the moment get to your head. As we know, baseball is a mental game, so you got to be able to win the game mentally up here, and then you can do it physically. So these clips were near and dear to me on more than several occasions. One of them, obviously you guys can probably tell, I'm a big San Francisco Giants fan. I'm a diehard fan. I've been watching the Giants for about 10 plus years now, so all the knowledge that I've accumulated from watching the game of baseball from afar, I'm now going to be applying it as I am destined to come back into the game of baseball, inshallah, and my goal is to be playing baseball for SF State come next January 2018. So that's the goal for me. And so Salvador Perez. Now, I showed you guys these clips because for Salvador Perez, he was in a moment, a situation where it was Game 7, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and not only that, but the tying run was on third. And so he had the opportunity of a lifetime, opportunity that all of us probably dream of having. He was in the batter's box, Game 7, if he hits a home run, he walks it off for his team, and they win, and, at that moment, they're trailing by a run, or even he gets a base hit, he ties the game. He had the opportunity of a lifetime. And Salvador Perez, I don't know this guy personally. I only know him from having seen him play the game of baseball. But we know he's been putting in the work behind the scenes. He's been grinding hard in the gym, and he's been doing all these things. So one thing that I always want to come back to is that we cannot be afraid as baseball players to be in that situation, to be in the spot that Salvador Perez was. So, I mean, how many of us want to be up there in Game 7, bottom of the ninth, and we're down a run, 2 outs? Is there anyone in this world that would like to make the last out for their team in a World Series, let alone Game 7 when you're down a run? I don't think anyone would want to make that last out. So with that being said, we have to tell our minds that we want to be there. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can't be afraid of the moment. You just can't. No matter how big the moment is, you cannot be afraid of it. You cannot think about it as much. Just be you, man. Just go in there, and honestly, it's just how everything's always been for you. I mean, if you've been putting in the work behind the scenes in spring training, in the off season, in the gym, doing what you got to do with your swing, hitting off the tee, working with coach, or throwing and building your arm strength, if you're putting in the work and you put in the work, you can't be afraid of the big moment. You can't be afraid to fail. And that's what I've learned, I was that player in high school where I was afraid to fail. And what I mean by I was afraid to fail, I didn't want to be up there in tight pressure situations because I didn't think I could come through. I didn't believe in myself. I lacked the mindset. I was scared almost. I can recall my last game, even to this day, that I played in. I was stranded on deck. And you know what? I probably didn't even want to hit, honestly, because I was scared. And I can't believe that I lived and played baseball like this. It hurts me a lot to know that I dealt with this and I went through this. So that's why I'm trying to help you guys, and I don't want you to go through the same thing. and learn from what I went through. It's good for me that I learned, and I'm realizing this stuff now as a 21-year-old, rather say a 40-year-old, where when I'm 40, I can't turn back the clock. I can't go back and say, oh, let me go back in time so I can play baseball again. So Salvador Perez, he made the last out of the World Series. And as you saw a year later, he was the World Series MVP the very next year for the Kansas City Royals. So I think this story, it just shows you that if you're not afraid to fail in the biggest moment, that your time could come the following year. And who knows, like, we could still be sitting here, I could be talking with you guys right now, and Salvador Perez would not have won a World Series yet, but he has. So the advice or the lesson to be gained from this is we all have to think that we want to be up there in pressure situations. We're not afraid of the big moment. I'm not afraid to be up there, Game 7, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and all of you guys out there are not afraid. And if we believe that we can do this and we can come through, that's all that matters. And if we don't, if we strike out or we make that out or we ground out, don't get hard on yourself. Don't get down on yourself. That's what I don't want you to do. I don't know what Salvador Perez was thinking when he made that last out, or how much he thought about it in the offseason. Who knows? I mean, that's something that maybe he's disclosed to his family or his teammates or coaches. Like, I don't know him personally, so I can't say, but we can only imagine. But if we find ourselves in that situation, if you find yourself in that situation, and I don't care what level it is, high school, college, or major leagues, like, if we find ourselves in that situation, we got to be able to get back up and fight back. And that's my challenge to you guys. That's what I want you to do, is get back up and keep fighting. Even when you've been knocked down, when you've made the last out and you should be at the lowest of the lowest. Instead of being at the lowest of the lowest, think that you were blessed to be there in the first place. How much of a blessing was it be to stand up there and that moment that you were able to be in? How many people would have loved just to be in your shoes, whether you succeeded or not? Because it's the opportunity of a lifetime. So think positive, keep striving hard, guys. If you like this video, or have any questions or concerns or any other topics that you would love for me to discuss about baseball, I'm all open arms to them. Comment down below, comment, subscribe, like. I appreciate it. I love you guys, my fans. Just keep doing you, keep working hard. I believe in you, and I'm going to see you, all you baseball players out there in the major leagues, so we can have the time of our life and just have fun and be who we are as human beings. Big shouts out, guys, to Clan of the Clouds. He's a really good music producer. If you guys are interested in getting any beats, just hit me up. And again, one more time, big shouts out to Clan of the Clouds. Couldn't be more thankful to be helping me to be successful. And it's just, man, like, I think the message that I'm trying to send across to you guys is better accurately portrayed out to you with this great music that we got going in the background. So remember it, Clan of the Clouds, big shout out.